Welcome into hour number 2 of The Drive. That voice, Drake Maye, quarterback of the New England Patriots, talking about Christian Gonzalez, who still waiting on a new contract, but he is in camp. He is participating every day in practice and drawing praise from his quarterback, from his head coach, and pretty much anyone covering the situation around the league for being a pro's pro while the negotiations play out.
Yeah, they asked Drake Maye about the Gonzo situation during or after a practice this morning, and he didn't want to get into it because part of the question was about you might find yourself in a similar situation, not necessarily a holdout, but contractually inclined to negotiate a year from now, I should say.
Yep.
And how are you feeling about all that? Are you kind of learning anything from what's going on right now? And no, he just said he went on to talk about Gonzalez being out there and getting ready for the season, even though he doesn't have maybe the ideal contact situation for himself, and didn't really. I haven't really thought about it. Was basically what he said, which is
kicking that can down the road,
which is impossible to do.
To not think about the generational wealth hurling towards you in a year's time.
I mean, I'm sure he's getting a good check now on his rookie contract, but still, I mean, he's going from, who knows, 8, 10 to 70.
Handful of mil to all of it.
Well, he's got to buy all this cooking equipment for his wife.
That's true. That'll be the first thing. Build out a new kitchen for her.
Well, yeah, but she'll subsidize the family once he retires because she'll be world-renowned.
She'll have all the shows and podcasts.
She'll be on the Food Network all over the place by that point. No. Fun. What a kind of a fun couple, though. I mean, it's kind of
like 6th grade sweethearts.
it's and they still act like it. I mean, that's not. I'm not saying that negatively at all.
No.
I mean, it's good for them that they are not cutting each other's throats at this point or worrying about something else. I mean, they're just having fun and enjoying the success. We'll see how they handle. I don't know. I think they're going to have a little adversity this year.
Yeah.
Now it's relative to what they had last year, right? But if they go 11-6. I like to see something like that would be a great season, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think 10, 11 wins is a very, very good year with the schedule that they're going to face, because there's a lot of, before the show today, jotted down just kind of my quarterback rankings for the NFL to see where all the names on the upcoming schedule fall. There's a lot of guys in the top 15 that the Patriots are going to be taking on this year. Now, granted, I feel like Drake Maye is number 5. He's the top. Okay. He's the back end of my top 5.
Who's
he's right
the
up
first
there.
4?
Josh Allen, Matt Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow.
Where's Herbert?
Herbert is 12th. My boy Herbert.
He's ahead of May and all these other ones.
I can't stand him.
I know. Well, he hasn't done anything.
Paper QB.
Has he won a playoff game yet?
No, he's the poster child of a California QB. Long hair, cool dude. Got the supermodel music recording girlfriend, fiance now, and just doesn't do anything when it comes crunch time.
Oh, I get a kick out of it. I mean, in fairness, last year he lost both of his offensive tackles
and broke his arm going into that Patriot game.
So,
and all else.
I can understand a little bit of that, but there's so much hype about the guy. I'm trying to think of who I would compare him to. I was going to say Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence was all based on college. And then he didn't do much of anything until
last year. He flipped it. Yeah. He got off to such a bad start, and then he was rushing for 2 touchdowns a week, throwing for 3 in the second half of the season there. But looking at the Patriots' schedule this season, so week 1, you open up against Seattle. I've got Darnold top 7. I've got him as number 7 on the list, coming off a Super Bowl championship and haven't done it the last 2 years now. Pittsburgh, whatever. That's Aaron Rodgers. That's a home win. First one of the season. Then you go to Jacksonville. I've got Lawrence as kind of 10, the last outer reaches of the top 10 there. After that, it's Buffalo. Josh Allen is my number 1. Then you got a little bit of a break until week 7 when you're at Chicago. I've got Caleb Williams at 11. Right after that, you got Green Bay. Not the next week, but 2 weeks later, Jordan Love is in my top 10 at 9. They got Detroit. Jared Goff is in my top 10 at 8. After that, after the bye week, there's Justin Herbert on the schedule. There's Josh Allen again. Patrick Mahomes. You got to play him on a Monday night at Kansas City. You got Bo Nix on the schedule, who I've got in the top 15.
Yeah.
They're facing a lot of potent quarterbacks and offenses this year. So 10-7 might not be a bad mark for this team.
I was looking at the USA Today preseason picks as of yesterday. And in the AFC, the Bills to win the East, Patriots second, Bills 11-6, Patriots 10-7. And the other divisional winners are Cincinnati, Houston, and Denver, which I could see that. I could see all those. They have the Bills seeded third and the Patriots seeded sixth.
Really? Okay. So they still get the Bills as the division winner.
They play in the first round, and the Bills would beat the Patriots in the first round.
I mean, I deferred to Buffalo when, like, Jim and I a couple of weeks ago did the Rich Eisen thing of just no thoughts. You go through the schedule, win-loss. We both had the Patriots at 10. We did the same thing with Buffalo, and I think we both had them at 12.
Okay.
Just, again, deferring to them.
By the way?
Yeah. You split with them, and then you win the other 5.
Right. Well, because the Jets 4. And the Jets, I think they picked the Jets to have 3 wins, and the Dolphins to have 1.
They'll be competing for the number 1 pick, so you got to take care of the rest of the division. But I still view Buffalo as tough. The next day we had Chris Price on the show, and he said, "No, this is the Patriots division. Buffalo didn't do all that much apart from getting a new coach and DJ Moore."
Yep, they are rebuilding after. By the way, Marv Levy had a birthday the other day, and I think he said he was like over 100.
Marv Levy is still with us?
Yes.
What?
We had to look that up. It was this week. It was like, happy birthday to Marv Levy, and I'm like, holy God.
101.
Oh, he is. He's
Marv Levy, born on August 3rd, 1925 in Chicago.
So I wasn't lying. It was like Tuesday. It was his birthday. He's 101. He could still be out there coaching, for crying out loud.
That is crazy. I would not have guessed he was still with us.
And he's been out of coaching 15 to 20 years.
That's it? Wow.
The game has changed. And so is Marv. Holy God. Yeah, it stunned me when I heard that. Because I don't remember him passing away. Well, I guess now I know why.
Now we know why.
It wasn't me. It was him.
You got Marv Levy. Dick Van Dyke is the Century Club.
Yeah, I think he's 100 now, right?
I think so.
He's pushing it if he isn't. But I say, it'd be a heck of a party. Those guys would throw each other. I don't know what they drank, but...
That is whatever. You're 100 and 101. You're drinking whatever at that point.
I mean, he obviously was, he didn't age badly in terms of, I don't know that he forgot coaching all that much other than he just wasn't supposed to coach when he got to be 85 years old, so they wouldn't let him.
That is great. I'm looking up the...
What's his last year?
His last year was in 97 when he was 72.
So that's...
so he's been out of the game for about 30 years.
30 years.
29 years. He had the 4 straight AFC championships with Buffalo there in the early 90s, 90 to 93, but then 6-10 with Buffalo in 97.
Yeah, so
he was enjoying a 30-year retirement, but not a lot of people kick off a 30-year retirement at age 72.
That's pretty good. You don't retire until you're age 72 and you still draw like 30 years of Social Security.
Get 3 golden decades out of it.
Oh, God. And he's still going. Who knows how much longer he's going to have.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
That is not a reference I anticipated coming up in today's show.
No, I'm glad I brought that up because that just blew my mind. I was pretty sure it was over 1. I didn't know if it was 103 or 101, but just the idea that he's still kicking, good for him.
Yeah. Shout out Marv Levy at the ripe age of 101. The Drive is brought to you in part by Fat Panda Boba Tea and Market on Harlow Street in Bangor next to Goslin's Bakery. Sip on fresh boba, explore snacks, ramen, and their tasty Jamaican patties. We're also brought to you by Casella. Good pay, good people, good life. Find your place at powerofhardwork.com. And Natural Lawn Care of America. If you want greener, healthier lawns without harsh chemicals, Natural Lawn of America can help. They have organic-based care and tick ranger protection. Call 721-0600 or naturallawn.com/Bangor-ME. Naturally healthier lawns. Coming up in the next segment, we've got the Drive poll. We'll also give you another cue to call for our Sox ticket sweepstakes that is presented by Dunnett's Appliance and Service. Don't go anywhere. The Drive continues right after this timeout. Getting a chance there to hear from Adley Rutschman for the first time as a member of the Boston Red Sox. He was speaking yesterday at Fenway Park after meeting up with the team, joining the team. Of course, he's still on the shelf. He's been on the IL since July 20th with wrist inflammation. He's got to meet with team medical staff and see what the plan is there, but he is certainly one of the pieces that Craig Breslow brought in to try to help get this team over the hump, not only into the postseason, but contend potentially for the pennant when they get there. Drive at 5 brought to you in part by Dean's Detailing, the auto detailing leader for over 55 years. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, look good, and feel good in a clean, shiny car. Book your appointment at deansdetailing.com and start your morning at Goslin's Bakery, 334 Harlow Street in Bangor. Grab a breakfast sandwich on an English muffin or croissant, plus legendary donuts and pastries made since 1945.
So Adley Rutschman is 28 years old, I'm told. So he's in the prime of his career relative to even being a catcher.
You would think.
And we just don't know. He was also an all-star this year.
Yeah, he was.
That's what, you don't even think of that because all you think about is the fact that he's not playing right now. But he did. He got off to a very hot start. Yep. And then I don't know if it had to do with injuries or what, but he definitely cooled off.
219 with 3 homers since May 12th. But again, he's been dealing with a wrist injury in there. Any hand or wrist, just ask Roman Anthony. It screws with trying to hit a baseball.
Yeah. But he's a guy that, as hell, if he can play 125 games a year and hit 20 home runs and drive in 60 or 70.
That's the potential. That's 270 while doing it, 275.
Then he's and handle a pitching staff. Now, that's the other thing about the pitching staff. And again, I don't know what the story is relative to Narvaez in particular in terms of handling pitchers, but the Red Sox pitching staff has had like the best ERA in Major League Baseball over the course of a period of time.
Last month or so, I think.
30 games or so, give or take. And, how is that going to change? That part of it, if it changes, with a different catcher in there for, 4/5 of the games, assuming that he comes back.
Because that was always the compliment given to Carlos Narvaez, other than sticking his glove out and getting catcher interference a couple too many times. Very good defensive backstop. Could handle the pitching staff, could do all that side of it. That's why you parked him at the bottom of the lineup and took the 190 average. You're hoping that Adley Rutschman is a difference maker at the position, because going from 190 with 3 home runs at catcher to even what he's given you this year, which might look a little pedestrian, but 255 with 8, that's a big offensive jump on a night-to-night basis.
If that equals out to 255 for the season by 18 or 20, that's quite a gain. And they're in a position right now where I think we all thought of it. We knew they needed a bat. So normally you don't necessarily look to the catching position to get that bat. That's all. But you're able to do it a little less expensively. And in this case, it didn't seem expensively in terms of the prospects, but we'll find out if they can get him back for the final 6 weeks of the season and he's healthy. He ought to be able to make a difference offensively and add another bat to a team that's seemed to be growing in offensive confidence with every game they play.
Yeah, they're getting better and better on a nightly basis. They're racking up like double-digit hits, it seems, pretty consistently here. And if you envision him either at the top or in the middle of the lineup, same thing with Curtis Meade, come either the second week of September or the end of it when you're getting ready for the playoffs, that all of a sudden is a fairly deep 9. I'm not going to say it's a fantastic lineup, but it's deep and it's better than anything they've had at any point this year.
So would you move Rafaela from, where's he batting now, third or second?
He's kind of hung out at second. Now, he's also been a guy that has shown in the 5-hole this year to be a really good run producer. With Rutschman, I'm almost tempted to hit him leadoff when he's healthy, but you don't do that at home with a catcher because you don't send him right from behind the plate to going out there to be the first guy to bat. So maybe on the road you approach it that way. I don't know. But I just like his approach from both sides of the plate, his on-base percentage, the fact that he uses the whole field when you look at his spray chart. And he's done that before. He's been pretty routinely either first, second, or fourth in the Orioles lineup over the years. So if I don't have him first, followed by Rafaela, I would have... The issue is you don't really have another leadoff hitter right now until if Roman Anthony got back in the equation, maybe.
Right.
But because they're making it work with Nick Sogard and Anthony Siegler and all these pieces right now. I would love to have Rutschman either top of my lineup or fifth, but I would need a leadoff hitter to have him fifth.
Yeah, and you may not have one this year.
I'm not really counting on... Well, you know what? We got a status update today from Chad Tracy on those two guys, Roman Anthony and Garrett Crochet. So let's hear that right now. That being said, I'm not necessarily counting on Anthony being back and manning that top spot.
Okay.
So they're moving.
So that's another month for Crochet.
That's the thing. These guys haven't been involved in half a season at this point, so there is a 30-day build-up to getting them back on the field.
Yeah, because you've got to get them on the field. You got to extend them in terms of Crochet in particular, and then you've got to throw them down in Portland or Worcester a couple of times and stretch him out. So, I figure that's a month before he's going to be able to play. And so Anthony, for the first time today, since April, BP, whatever.
Overhand BP.
Took overhand batting practice. Now, who knows if that was even batting practice or if that was just
lob
toss, But when you're going from where he has come from, that's a step, presuming there's no setbacks, because he never had surgery, right?
No.
And so that's going to be, they're going to have to, you would think they would be able to ramp that. It's either going to hurt or it's not.
He would be the easier one to get back, right? Because you just get him back, you give him 2 weeks to get his timing back, and then you throw him out there on the field and say, you're not even playing defense, you're just DHing at the top of the lineup.
Yeah, do that for as long as it takes. I would say so. I would say that would be it. I mean, just pray he doesn't complain of pain. That's all. Because if he complains of any pain, then you're starting over again, and then you can't. There's really not enough time to start over again.
Exactly.
This season, so then you're out for the entire year. But I'm not counting on either one of them. But
no, I don't think you can at this point.
But it'd be nice for a Red Sox fan in particular to get Crochet back. I think even more than Anthony.
Well, just think about
for this period of time,
how good the pitching has already been this year. If you throw Garrett Crochet, even a Garrett Crochet that can give you 4 solid innings at the front of that heading into the postseason, or just having that ace up your sleeve.
He and Bayo.
There you go. Crochet for the first 4, Bayo for the last 5, no hitter.
Yeah, but if that's your 5th starter,
Exactly.
Because right now it's Patrick Sandoval, and he had a good start last night, but it's been a while since he's thrown 2 starts in a row.
Yeah, it is.
Like years.
We are asking in today's drive poll, so the Red Sox winners of 24-27. They've almost chased down the Yankees in both the AL East and the wild card chase. 2 games behind them entering play tonight. 5.5 behind Tampa Bay for the league's best record. Which of the 3 teams will survive the longest in the MLB playoffs? No surprise here, along with the geographic and recency bias, that 84% say the Boston Red Sox, 15% say the Yankees, and only 1% saying those pesky Rays.
Yeah, it's hard to know about the Rays because you never know who's going to rise to the occasion in a particular game, even more so than the Red Sox. The Yankees, potentially, their starting 3.
They've got the best potential.
It's pretty good. It's Schlittler, it's Fried, and
then it's either Cole or Rodon who gets healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they've got pretty decent depth behind there, too. So you would think they have the starting pitching, but the Red Sox have had the pitching. And there's no reason to think. Again, these guys, a couple of them are coming up on their career maximum, totally for one. I don't know about Bennett. I'm guessing probably he is, too.
Yeah, he's got to be right there.
So there's a couple of their key guys. But Suarez should be okay if he's healthy. He hasn't thrown a ton of innings.
Always good in the playoffs, too.
And he is a playoff pitcher, so there's another one. I forget who I'm missing between them and Sonny Gray, who's pitching tonight.
Just 13-2.
13-2, had one bad start recently.
Yeah.
But one bad start out of 15 is not bad. So you would take him too. So they're pretty much and I think this Miller guy, as long as he throws strikes, he will be an asset to their bullpen.
He'll be a difference maker.
That's pretty between him, the left-hander, and then you've got Slayton and Whitlock leading up to Chapman.
Yeah, and I already trust this Miller guy more than I do Slayton.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
But that gives you at least 3 guys that on a given night, especially if you get into a playoff situation, you have days off like between every game.
Yep.
So you almost run them out there every other night, pretty much, and
you can feel good about locking it down.
Yes, indeed. And so they're in pretty good shape that way. Now, then the question becomes with the Red Sox the consistency of the hitting of the offense, and we've just had 6 weeks of mostly consistency. There's been a week. It was a week or so in there. It was when they were beating the A's.
Yeah,
they scored 3 or 4 runs, but they were still winning because the pitching was good. But and maybe Rutschman can come in and help, and who knows? I'm amazed they still have Jaron Duran.
I know it.
And I feel so bad about it because
I don't think anyone else wanted him. That's why they still have him.
He's a guy who. He's got such great upside as he showed 2 years ago. Even this year, he's going to be 2020.
Yeah. It is weird for being the statistically worst qualified offensive player this year because of batting average. He's crept back over it now because he had another homer last night.
Right.
But exactly that. He's going to go potentially 20-20 and drive in 70 to 75 runs and while being the worst 200 statistical player.
But he's obviously got like 16 home runs and 16 stolen bases now, something like that. But he has power and speed. It's kind of the point of those stats. And so, I mean, he's somebody that could. And he's also somebody that can get hot for a week.
Sure.
And carry you. And if he does that in October, then people are going to forget the batting average.
Yeah, everything changes real quick. The perspective flips if you perform in October, especially in a city like Boston.
Which made me wonder why they picked up this outfielder from the Atlanta.
So, I almost said Chaim Bloom. Craig Breslow described him as basically like just a spell Cedar Rafaela a day off because they didn't really have anyone else on the roster that they trusted to play
Strictly
center field, I guess. They've been moving Duran over there. The defensive guy, a little bit of speed too. He can steal some bags for you.
Yeah.
And a Jahmai Jones improvement is what he is.
Here's a question for you. Is Refsnyder an improvement over either one of them?
That's what I was kind of wondering today because of the success that he had the last 2 years in Boston. Again, released today by the Mariners. Only 144 home runs in 53 games this season. Just never took off, never fit out there. But he hit 278, 20 homers, and 70 RBI over 163 games the last 2 years in Boston. I think because of the production that he offered you at least take a flyer right now and you say, Jahmai Jones, thank you for your service. We option you to Worcester or send you on to your next spot. And Rob Refsnyder worked the last 2 years. See if you can capture it.
What do you got to lose? You only got to pay him for 6 weeks. I'm sure it's a prorated contract of some sort.
And that's what I really like about this iteration of the Red Sox with Craig Breslow and Chad Tracy. It's a pure meritocracy. They give the major league spots to the guys who have earned it. They put you in the lineup if you have earned it. There's no, just turn to that random 4A player and bring him up here to fill a spot. They're okay with kind of turning over the roster. They just sent down Romy Gonzalez the other day because
I was thinking about him.
He's been stinking at the plate, and they needed that spot for a new person after the deadline.
And he's been one of the primary examples of what you're just talking about.
He was the lefty killer last
year and earlier this year.
But 310 or whatever against lefties. He was in there in the lineup at the top of it.
I wonder if they would have even. I don't know if is Refsnyder a center fielder.
No, he's like strictly left.
So that's
DH at this point.
I was going to say if they had known that the Mariners were going to wasn't the Mariners.
It was.
It was. If the Mariners were going to release him, that they would just wait a day and pick him up without.
Yeah.
But if he's not, this is a specific need for a center fielder. They basically want this guy White to play like 6 games and pitch run in 5 others.
Exactly. Yeah.
Between now and the end of the season. That's fine.
He's a bit player, but he's a better option than what they had in that role before.
Right, as a defensive outfield. And, the defense has been better for the most part this year, so you don't want to screw that up just because you're cheap. Well, they've got that guy in that spot, White defensive center fielder replacement and occasional base stealer, and then you move on with the rest of the club.
Yep. Very active around the deadline, trying to improve this team, trying to make sure that the Red Sox will last the longest out of the 3 American League East contenders that are going at it right now. Rays, Yankees, Red Sox. Once again, that's our drive poll. Head over to the Facebook page, 92.9 The Ticket, and vote. 84% say the Red Sox outlast the other 2.
So my answer to that, by the way, is I'm going to say the Yankees.
Yep.
But only because the Red Sox bats just died.
We saw that
in those last 2 games against the Yankees
last year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, Rafaela has been a consistently better hitter certainly this year than he has been than he was last year, particularly since the end of say April.
Yep.
I mean, he's been one of the better hitters in the league, and as a result, it's an all-star. But how many other places are they improved to the point where they're able to take that next step offensively in those kind of pressure situations?
First base, end of list.
Yeah, maybe third.
Catcher now after Rushman.
Yeah,
when you project him in the lineup,
if he's healthy. I mean, maybe Durbin. Actually.
Compared to the way Bregman swung it in the second half last year, and the way Durbin's swinging it currently, that is an improvement. Yeah, that's one there. But hey, 24-27, trying to take a 9th straight series tonight.
Having said that, I'm going to be disappointed if they don't.
Make a little noise?
Win a series.
Oh, God, yeah.
Take a little step forward, You
want to see improvement.
Yeah. I definitely want to see that. So we'll see.
That to me is kind of what gets Chad Tracy's interim tag removed. If they can just take a series in the playoffs, based on how this team has turned it around, I mean, I already removed that tag. I think he's done a good job to this point. But if you truly want to take it to the end of the season, if he gets you a wild card series victory, that's more than anything you've done in the last 5 years.
I'm tempted to remove it just based on economics alone.
Yeah.
They're not going to get a manager less expensively than they're going to get Chad Tracy.
Yeah. And they're already paying $7 million to Cora.
Well, there you go. Couch. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure John Henry doesn't care. By the way, John Henry did an interview the other day. Did you see that?
About 12 seconds, someone caught him on the street as he was leaving Fenway right after the trade deadline.
Yeah, he asked him a question, are you surprised or something? And the gist of his press conference was one word, very.
Yeah. The guy was like, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask a question. And he got Henry to half turn around to give him something.
Boy, that's John Henry.
The Drive is brought to you by Acadia Federal Credit Union, their newest location, now open on Wilson Street in Brewer, serving Maine since 1963 with branches in Bangor, Brewer, and Aroostook County. Learn more at acadiafcu.org. That's acadiafcu.org. Also brought to you by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold, Next Home Experience. And if you're in need of getting your windshield repaired or replaced, just give Novus Auto Glass a call today, 945-6688. That'll do it for this segment. Coming up on the other side of the break, we've got a Sports Center weather forecast, a meatball of the day, Sox props as well. But also, hit us up, 992-9029. Here's your cue to call for our Red Sox ticket sweepstakes presented by Dunnett's Appliance and Service. They certainly jumped them in the bottom of the first. Last night, those Red Sox did to the old Pale Hose. Back-to-back, a granny and a solo shot to cap a 6-run opening inning.
They've done that a half dozen times, though, in the last month, where they've got 4 runs in the first or something like that, just to kind of take some of the pressure off.
Yeah, Chad Tracy was talking about that last night after the game, where he's like, listen, these games don't come around all that often in Major League Baseball when you can kind of put your feet up through the last 3 innings and get some other guys into the game, shuffle players in and out, make sure you rest them. So when they come along, make sure to take advantage.
Yeah, and they have. I mean, they have. I can think of, and it seems like, a few of them have come in situations where it's almost like you were going into the day expecting a letdown, and yet they...
Well, that would have been the situation for it, right?
Sure.
A little bit of a trap game coming off sweeping the best team in baseball, or at least the big bad Giants of the game.
Yeah.
And then you just come out and end it in the first inning.
And it leaves no doubt about it. It's a good sign.
It has been quite the run. Winners of 24 of their last 27 are these Boston Red Sox. Who knows? It might be a wise play to just take Sox money line for our Sox prop, but let's see if we can find something a little more intriguing than that. We need us a Sox prop, and we are trying to get back over 500, trying to avoid falling under it. 25-25 on the season here in the afternoons, the morning. 30-28 with their Sox props. Made the mistake yesterday of riding I looked up at the board, saw Sandy, and I was like, where are they getting Sandy from? And then I realized Sandoval. I was blanking on how Sandy and Patrick come out of the same thing, but he had been pitching. My idea going into it was that he hadn't been pitching deep into games yet because they were building him back up, so I saw that 9 or less hits plus walks plus run. And then I leave here, I get in my car, I turn on Red Sox pregame, and they're talking about how he's been built up. Now he's going tonight.
Right.
He's going potentially into the 6th inning, which is what they tried to do with him. I mean, good game. He only gave up 1 run, but he had like 4 walks, 5 hits, scattered some base runners. So
9 or less, I mean, that's you're counting on less than 2 base runners an inning.
Exactly, yeah. The walks were the killer yesterday. 4 of those, getting half that number right there, but... the way this team is swinging the bat, I feel like we got to go with something in the lineup. Just because that...
Yeah, what do you got?
That right now is where they are humming.
Although this guy has been punching people out the last couple of times, right?
Well, I was also intrigued by Sean Burke, pitcher for the White Sox, because he averages, 11.9 strikeouts over his last 8 games. He has posted back-to-back 10 strikeout games. We could take him at 6+ tonight at -163. Almost half of what he's been posting recently. Can he get the Sox to whiff 6 times, half a dozen times while he's out there? This lineup that is churning right now.
What's your sense for how frequently the Red Sox have been striking out lately?
I would have to go to recent box scores for that number because last night there weren't many. They had 15 hits and 14 runs up there on the board.
I'm tempted to go for that, actually, because...
Go for the K number?
I just figure that's just the nature of the game these days.
I'd go for that.
So if the Red Sox strike out 6 or more times...
We win.
We win? Okay.
And they can still put up 10 runs while fanning 6 times.
I hate to be, working against my Red Sox, but...
sometimes the numbers are too good. Sometimes
there you go.
The sports betting gods just line it up for us like that, right?
Those will be the only 6 times they don't make serious contact that finds the green monster or the right field stands.
That's all we need, yeah. Just home run, strikeout, home run, strikeout, home run. Just do that one time down the order. We're all good.
I can live with that.
All right, so we're riding with Sean Burke tonight for our Sox prop. 6+ strikeouts for the guy that has been on a heater of recent. He's going up against Sonny Gray tonight, 13-2, 2.93 the ERA for the year. Again, he had that rough start a couple of turns ago, where he gave up 10 hits and 5 earned runs, but then was able to respond his last time out. Kind of settle things down a little bit. He got the win. His exact numbers in his last start: 7 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned. That was the game out at the A's.
Who is the AL Cy Young on August the 5th or 6th? 5th, I think.
American League Cy Young at this point, trying to go off the top of my head.
Well, I'm just looking at 13-2 and 2.93. Now, I know he didn't get an All-Star nod for some reason.
That's the tough part in there, right?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how he was left off that team exactly.
And Ranger Suarez was on it, right?
Yeah, that was the real confusing part to it all. After Sonny Gray, the next best American League pitcher would be Gavin Williams of the Cleveland Guardians. 11-6 on the season is his record. His ERA, I am not seeing in here. I don't know. Oh, there it is. 11-6 with a 3.56. So he's got 2 fewer wins and an ERA half a point higher.
Sonny Gray's like the Jaylen Brown of the...
He might be, because
the Red Sox.
I am going through American League pitchers here, and man, it is not a healthy crop this year in the Cy Young race. You got, is it Nick Martinez, the Tampa Bay pitcher who was an All-Star? It is Nick. 10-3 with a 2.77 ERA, but he's only got 69 strikeouts on the season. I mean, Schlittler probably because of the team that he pitches for.
That was the talk last weekend when he was pitching.
10-6, 2.26 ERA. He's actually got more quality starts than Sonny Gray this year, 14-13.
Good. Yeah.
And as far as strikeouts go, he's thrown 26 more innings, and he's got 171 to Sonny's 98.
Yeah, that could be it.
I think Cam might be the leader in the clubhouse unless Sonny goes on quite the run the rest of the way.
You have to go undefeated and hope that Schlittler didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, there's not a lot of pitchers out there that with Skubal now in the NL.
Well, that was kind of part of my point there, because he's kind of taking himself out of the mix there. He pitched okay last night, gave up a couple of runs in 6 innings, I think. But boy, Sonny Gray just got the screws put to him in terms of the All-Star.
There's no reason that he shouldn't have been an All-Star.
I mean, he was like 11-1 probably at that point.
Yeah, ERA even more minuscule than where it's at now.
He had one bad start coming out of the break, I think. But anyways,
we've got our Sox prop. We're going with Sean Burke, White Sox starter tonight to fan 6 Bo Sox. We'll be back with buzzer beaters. Buzzer beater time here on the show. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Ernie, you'll be over at Heroes along with Jim, munching on some food in the afternoon. I'll be back here in the studio listening to you guys. The roast also coming to you 6 to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Tyler, Brian, and Marcus in the studio. They'll be joined by Larry Mahoney on the phone line. Ernie, what do you got for buzzer beaters here?
Well, I was thinking about Stephon Diggs signing a contract. I believe it's 1 year, $12 million. Which is pretty good still.
That's not bad. Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the Patriots. And God bless Stephon Diggs, but their wide receiver core is so much better and deeper this year than it has been. It's ridiculous.
Man, Booty wanting to be traded and now sliding in potentially as a starter alongside Dobbs in the slot. You got Brown outside. You got Hollins hanging out as your 4th option. Even guys like Douglas and other people who might...
Douglas.
Yeah, I mean, in a smaller sense.
Yeah, I mean, but their offense has got... As long as their offensive line holds up and, the signs are good early in terms of like the first-round draft pick from last year. They got a first-round pick from this year, Caleb Lomu.
I'm expecting like 30 a game out of this offense.
And the guy from the Jets there, Aloe Vera.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to score. They're going to score a lot of points.
Don't forget about Travion in the pass game, too. I'm expecting big things in year 2 from
that
him.
in the run game as well. I mean, I just think they're going to be explosive offensively.